So on to our questions. For our audience, I told our candidates that we drew names out of a hat to determine who would answer questions first. Let's start with some recent news involving the Worcester Police Department. The Worcester Regional Research Bureau released a report a few days ago recommending the city create a civilian review board to hold officers more accountable. City Manager Eric Batista had asked the Bureau to look into the matter. This comes almost a year after the U.S. Department of Justice concluded that Worcester police used excessive force and engaged in, quote, outrageous conduct. The police department disputed those findings, but said it's implementing reforms. Now, regarding the Civilian Review Board, it's something a lot of other cities already have, but the Worcester police chief has said he doesn't think it'll be effective. Local police unions are also against it. Mr. Petty, you won the toss, so yeah. You'll answer first. Do you support creating such a board, and would you ask the city manager to move forward with one, even if the police chief is against it?
Yeah, I've asked, I put an order on for next week just to look at the manager's recommendation on this and come back with that. I voted against it before. There's a lot of good things going on. I believe sometimes that undermines in the past I voted against this, undermines the chief of police and what he wants to do here in the city of Worcester. Our chief right now, he's doing a great job. He's building up relationships with the Human Rights Commission. He meets with the chairman on a regular basis. He's also developing a civilian, a civilian board on his, that will work with him at the police station and talk about issues. And also we have the DA officer who also does investigations on bias and sexual assaults. So, and our BOPS team, which is our Bureau of Professional Standards, is they're looking at this. They're like the mediator now between the investigations, between the sexual assaults, and also the bias discrimination issues with our DEI officer, and also with POST, that's the state. So you have civilians looking at this already. You have BOPS, and you're working with DEI for the city of Worcester, and also POST. And some of the stuff I couldn't really understand. And by the way, I haven't digested the report yet. I'm going to still look at that report. I owe that to the people and make sure it gets a fair hearing and see what we're going to do. But you look at some of the, like you look at Chicago and New York, and you never really go into the report. Cut me off. No.
You can finish your thought.
As far as how successful have they been? What's the sustained rate of findings? Now, City of Worcester, you look at the sustained rates, they're above probably 40%, 50% in findings, and sustain what the police chief will enforce some type of penalty against his police officers. And he's the one, and the majority of the complaints, we average about 40 for BOPS that investigates. He's the one that probably the majority of the cases he put forward on the complaints.
So it sounds like you're a wait and see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to make sure they're successful. I want to see. I don't know what the price on this would be. I know it's said in the report, $600,000 to $700,000. That's the floor. I want to make sure that people understand that.
Okay.
I just want to make sure it works.
Mr. Sarkodie.
Okay, I am for the civilian review boards with, and I want to go a little further with subpoena powers. I also want to. I would also favor like independent investigation into police use of force, and I'm also for open transparency on all arrests. I am for body cams, and I'm also I would also protect whistleblowers and prevent retaliatory measures. And lastly, I will fight for I will make sure that the renewal on contracts does not prevent accountability on the part of the police.
Mr. King?
Yes, I filed the orders that brought this report forward. Going back to 2020, I requested research evidence-based data, as my opponent referenced, in order to have a public hearing for a civilian review board. In December, I refiled another order asking for an update, which resulted in this report. It's important to note, this is the third independent entity that has determined that it would be in the best interest of the city to have a civilian review board. The Worcester Equity Audit of the Police Department recommended the same. That's a group of former law enforcement folks that made that recommendation. The Department of Justice, and now the Worcester Research Bureau. And most importantly, the people. The people have been asking for a civilian review board for years. It's a matter of Worcester not viewing this and supporting our invested men and women in law enforcement as not a threat. This isn't a threat. What this is a tool to enhance public safety, to improve the public trust. Worcester deserves leadership that's forward-thinking and not reactive. We absolutely should have a civilian review board with subpoena power. The details are what matters. What formation works? What will it look like? We already have a civilian review and oversight in the Human Rights Commission, but what we've seen there is a lack of follow-through from the administration on a number of their recommendations. In fact, there was also, the city recommended that they cease to a degree or another their oversight. We have a public safety committee that has not effectively provided that sort of oversight. There's significant concerns in the DOJ report that must be responded to make us a better, safer city.
I have another question regarding the police department, and I'll go to you first, Mr. Sarkodie. Many